I'm Dr. Helen Lemore, Managing Director of Scientia Partners Innovation Hub. I'm here at the Circular Economy Strategy Week to facilitate the agricultural work stream. Now, what did we do? The first day, there was an overview of presentation from various experts in circular economy. We had presentations on e-waste, on recycling, and also on circularity in agriculture. And then on the second day, we break out into our work streams, where we looked at first all the data and presentations on food loss in the agriculture sector. We took presentations from BOIP Bob Inc., where they talked about food, how they've been working with farmers to prevent food loss in Nigeria. Preventing food loss in Nigeria is difficult, and we got data from Sahel on what happens in the agricultural value chain and how food loss occurs. Another interesting perspective was that from Godwin, the representative of GAIN, who shared with us that there's a difference between food loss and food waste. So food loss occurs at production. Food waste occurs during consumption. So our major problem in Nigeria, and I dare say most parts of Africa, from data available, is that we are losing over 50% of the food produced on our farms, whether it's livestock or crops. And therefore, there was a roadmap workshop in February that looked at how to address food loss. And during that session, they came up with 3 top priority areas. And 1 was to address the challenge of infrastructure. 2 was to address the challenge of cold chain storage and logistics. And then 3 was containerization and storage of harvest. Those 3 top priority areas, stakeholders believe that if these are addressed, it will reduce food loss in Nigeria. Therefore, during the work stream, we had to look at coming up with solutions to address those top 3 priority areas. I worked with a group that after extensive brainstorming, they came up with different sectors to address the infrastructure challenges that can help to reduce food loss. And these different options included 1, putting storage infrastructure in different parts of the country. They also looked at improving access to energy, because limited access to energy is a major problem, even for irrigation, for storage, and for transportation, and during processing. Another option they looked at was giving access to roads and other transport infrastructure, right? And then finally, they looked at communication and technology to give farmers access to information. At the end of the day, they decided that if we were going to have a solution that can be implemented within 6 to 12 months, or at most 24 months, then that solution has to be easy to implement. It shouldn't be too costly to implement. It shouldn't require too many regulatory approvals. It also should not include too much capital, especially capital that has foreign exchange components. Therefore, they settled on making sure that farmers have access to information and extension services. This is because most farmers in Nigeria do not have access to information. They have limited access to extension services. In Nigeria, the ratio of extension workers to farmer is 1 to 10,000. That is, for every 10,000 farmers, they get only 1 extension worker. That is so inadequate. That is so inefficient. And this also affects our agricultural practices. This is why our farmers are using pesticides. They're using harmful chemicals. And the consequence is they have limited access to local and international markets. In local markets, manufacturers cannot take products from most of our farmers because they're not producing to specification for local processors or industries. And then at the international market, a lot of products from Nigeria are being rejected. Right now, the EU has banned beans from Nigeria completely, whereas they are taking such products from neighboring countries. Even our cashew nuts, some of them are being rejected. Even the yam that is from Nigeria is not being accepted in a lot of the world. So there is a need for us to help our farmers change their agricultural practices. And how will this happen? They need support, they need information, they need education to know that they shouldn't be using pesticides and harmful chemicals. They need to know the standards required by industrialists and also international purchasers from all parts of the world. So this is a major problem. That is why most of the crops that are produced in Nigeria cannot be used for value addition. Now, you may say that, okay, local processors can take it if international processors don't take it. So here's the thing, when local processors take those products, they cannot sell globally. They can't even sell outside of Nigeria. Some of the products will not even be approved by NAFDAC. Therefore, we have to address the root cause, which is making sure farmers they get the right information, they use the best agricultural practices, and they are able to sell both locally and internationally. And that is why this group felt very strongly that it is